like to introduce you to Anna Comerford. Anna is a psychic medium and spiritual teacher devoted to spirituality and universal wisdom. She is passionate about searching the great mystical, magical world and linking science and spirituality in ways that are simple and easy to comprehend. She was the Australian Psychic of the Year in 2017 and has appeared on Psychic TV Australia. She is the author of the Spiritual Guidebook, Palmistry, and the recently released Palmistry flashcards. Today, she will be helping us explore spirituality through palmistry. Anna, please. Oh, is Anna in the room? There you are, Anna. Please take it away. Look forward to hearing you talk. Oh, you're muted.
Yeah.
You're muted still? Perfect.
Sorry, do you know why? I was shuffling my cards and I accidentally touched that button, and I was thinking I'm just going to my beautiful palmistry cards, like you said, have just come out, so I'm really excited to use them, and I'm going to just pull one of the cards now just to see the theme, the energy for all of us, for this talk, for our lives. For what's going on. I'm just going to go into the middle of the pack and let's have a look what card I get. Oh, look at that, hand health. It says on the back, beautiful words on the back about looking after our bodies, keeping a good diet. Shaky hands can mean magnesium deficiency, and seek advice from health professionals. So it's about keeping healthy mind, body, and spirit. And the hands can show indications when we're unwell or not at our peak. So that's appropriate for today for us to all look after our health, and that keeps us vibrant and feeling great about life. Thank you to Rockpool Publishing for holding this summit. I'm really proud and privileged to be here today. Many years ago, I self-published 2 books, The Palmistry Power and Spiritual Guidebook. And the Rockpool team sent me contracts and I became a published author. And I'm so grateful because the palmistry book transformed into this palmistry book, available on Kindle, as you know, and all over. And the Spiritual Guidebook recently got a new design and new cover, and I love hearing people's feedback, and I get messages from all around the world about the Spiritual Guidebook and how it's changed their lives, and how the 50 plus meditations and activities in that book have helped them in their life. And it's helped me, and I wrote the book because of my challenges and because of experiences where I needed to look beyond the physical plane of existence, and I needed to go deeper into my heart, into my soul, clearing pains, clearing blocks, so that I could have a better relationship with myself and a better relationship with people around me. And I still love going back to some of those exercises when I'm stuck in life, when I feel like I need to go deeper and deeper into the messages that my body is telling me, or deeper into how I can lift myself up to have a better lifestyle. The Spiritual Guidebook is full of 19 chapters encompassing the numerology, mediumship, psychic development, crystals, Reiki, astrology, physics, because the physics and the spirituality is linked. And even though people might say, how do you prove with spirituality? There is a lot of physics and science behind it. And hopefully one day they will have more proof, but people see the proof. People see the signs, the dreams, the gut feelings, and sometimes that's enough proof to know I need to listen to that, because sometimes the head and the monkey mind can make us go a bit wayward and a bit wild. And it's there for a reason too. I became a meditator many years ago, and not as regularly as I'd liked. And as I've become older and realized that going into stillness and silence really benefits my mind and my heart, I started doing more mini sessions with myself, more stretches, more time in nature. And I found this made me less reactive, more present for myself and others, and helped the chakras and the body flow in my life. I have chapters in the book on aura colors, on chakras, on how to be mindful and meditate. It's a book that encompasses many different topics so that if you want a really broad range to really cover and experiment and trial different ones at different times and see which ones that you're drawn to, that is of benefit. Also, I find that years ago I went to an aura reading course, and the teacher was fabulous. She did so many different, over many weeks, different ways of doing different spiritual activities. But with aura, I just couldn't click to her way. So I just found a way that worked for me by looking at a person and seeing their aura in my mind's eye or the color around their body. And you can do that with plants or animals as well. And over time, when I practice more and the guides and the spirit world know, wow, this human is really keen on opening her third eyes, her chakras to the cosmos, to the universe, that they come in even stronger and they assist and they help clean us out so that our chakras flow, so that we are getting more intuition and more divine messages. So I have seen clients. I have a clinic from my home in Monash, Canberra, Australia, and I see clients face-to-face or on Zoom or FaceTime. And it doesn't matter whether they're in front of me or on the phone, I can still read or see the colours around their aura. And sometimes their aura, I will see behind them higher beings from the light. They're their guides there to pass on a message for them. Or it could be someone from their ancestors. Like a client came the other day and I said, I feel like there's a grandfather presence behind you. He's showing me military connection, and he said, yes, he was in the military, and he gave some more information about his time on the earth plane and the family. So sometimes the aura can bring in around a person what's going on in their life, messages, symbols. In the Spiritual Guidebook, there's a whole grid of symbols. For example, a birthday cake might mean someone is eating too much cake and it's making their gut out or their brain out and too stodgy and it's sucking their energy. So the guides might come through with a picture of that in my head clairvoyantly to show me that. But also a cake can also mean a birthday. And they might show candles on the cake, or they'll take my senses to the past, to the present, to the future. And I might say, I feel like there's a birthday today or yesterday or tomorrow, like there's a really 2-3 day period that I feel strength of a birthday around, and they will confirm that there's been a recent birthday because I see the cake really strongly. So there are symbols that, like in a dream state, that the spirit world will send through to indicate to you what's happening. Some people, as some of you may know, are more clairsentient. They feel it in their heart, in their body, in their rhythm, and they might just know something really fast and really powerful, and they can't make sense of it in their mind, but they just know it feels right. And so that's a really important intuition and gut feeling to follow. Other people have claircognizant, where they just know something quickly. It comes to them, or sometimes I see a word that appears that is a sign for me that they're supporting and helping me in a decision. Sometimes if I'm 50-50 on a decision, I'm not sure which way to go, I might just ask the guides and the higher realms, please give me an answer or some indication next couple of days, what is the best outcome for all concerned. And they will help me in sometimes miraculous ways, whether it's a number plate on a car or a weird message that pops up that gives me an answer indirectly, or some stranger might say something out of the blue that you know that sentence or that word is a gift for you, and the spirit world is holding your hand through that wisdom they're sharing with you. Also, I would like to share with you a Canva little image of some slides that just show you a little bit more about my life. And just go back to this one. And this is, like Tunji was saying, I got Psychic of the Year winner in 2017 and won also recently for Best Psychic Mentor. So I do love teaching others about tarot, oracle readings, how to read the divine messages, how to tap into that other realm which is supportive of us. And also, this is the other award that I'm holding recently from the IPA Association. Some of my qualifications that have helped me along my life that I love sharing with others now. And Reiki Master, I became one many years ago, and I love doing Reiki or self-healing on myself or on clients on a massage table to help them with their chakras, any blocks, sometimes visualizations going back to their childhood or a past relationship that they might not in their heart be over. They might be bitter. They might be have unforgiveness in their heart, which is okay. People should just stay in that space until the time is right for whatever they need to do. Bachelor of Education, I retired from school teaching 2 years ago. I was nearly 40 years as a preschool and primary school teacher, worked part-time, and I was lucky enough to have my spiritual business on the side, running concurrently to my school teaching so that I could manage that and balance my life and my energy better. I studied later in life hypnosis, which is great for visualizations, meditation, and breaking the belief systems and patterns that we all hold, that we learn from childhood, from community, from our families, and does it really serve us? And to reflect on that. I became a Drew yoga teacher about 20 years ago. That really helped me ground more in my body, to breathe much more deeply, to try and not run on fight or flight, because when we run on that stress cycle, which is normal and it is activated sometimes because that's survival and that's okay, but it's great to bring our body back to awareness and our mind and our soul, and to go back into a different rhythm of our body that is much calmer, more naturally healing and more peaceful. Also, I became a naturopath in my early 40s, about 18 years ago. I had health issues and I decided that I wanted to learn more about the body, the mind, the soul. So I did a degree in that over many years. It was a lot of science and a lot of exams, but it was really rewarding. And so it's almost like my guides know that I am a naturopath, because usually in a psychic reading or a palmistry reading with clients, the health stuff will come up and the guides will gently nudge the person or show, hey, I can see in my mind an image of coffee or soft drink or alcohol. And the guides might be gently saying with love, look, some of the issues you've got at the moment might be linked to that. And usually people know, they usually have an awareness, yeah, I am overdoing it at the moment. I'm really stressed and I'm grabbing that and yeah, I'm feeling like crap. And it's just the loving way that the spirit world might hold people's hands. And I can tell them why as a naturopath that might be really shrinking their chakras and stressing their hormones and their organs of their body, and a way to balance it out so they can still enjoy life, still enjoy treats, and yet have, a really good way of living life with mindfulness. And astrology, I've done heaps of astrology exams, and it's a fascinating area, as a lot of you probably know. And I have, I love doing birth chart readings with clients, and the clairvoyancy and the psychic stuff through my charts. Astrology comes through naturally. So I sort of link the intuitive astrology in and guide clients into, what is happening, what their birth chart shows for them. And it's funny how a lot of astrologers are palmists and read palms, because the lines of our palms are very powerful, and they do show and tell a lot about our lives, our past, our present, our future. And nothing's set in stone. And I say to clients, no matter what you're told by an intuitive or a reader, please always listen to your heart and your gut the most, because we are a guide and we do help. But at the end of the day, it's what your soul and feels. And it's great to get advice and amazing understanding from spiritual wisdom. These are as I talked about, the current books that have been updated and redesigned by the Rockpool publishing team. And I had a library talk the other day when people came up for me to sign books, and people brought in books they'd bought years ago from palmistry and said how they loved reading about their palms, the lines of the hands, that they said they read their families and friends, and they were really fascinated how it did match the personality of the person they were looking at. And the palm cards are really fascinating. It's a really good snapshot way of just getting a mini way of capturing what's on your palm and how to read for friends or yourself or clients. And we made it really concise with a few fun activities in there that people can use. And as I said, the Spiritual Guidebook's just a powerhouse of heaps of ideas. And if you'd like to give your hands a shake right now, and in a moment we're going to clasp them together like that. And in a moment, just check which thumb is on top when you clasp them together. So yeah, give them a good shake, loosen it up. And then when you clasp it, notice whether the left thumb is the last thumb on top or the right thumb. Because as my book and my cards say, if the left thumb is over the top, it means you're more right-brained, the intuitive brain, the flowy, creative brain. If your right thumb is on top, it might mean you're more left brain dominant, really good at logical, organizing things, planning, structure. So we use both sides of the brain, as you know, but sometimes we're a little bit more dominant than the other. I found since I meditated more in life that my brain has calmed down into a different rhythm. And in the Spiritual Guidebook, it shows a graph how the alpha, beta, delta brain waves of the brain shift and change through breathing, through meditation, stillness, nature even. And when you go out in the sunshine or walk in nature, you sort of come back, even if it's short, for 10 minutes, and you just feel lighter. You feel the tingles in your aura or the natural palm chakras or your feet chakras. And you'll notice there's an activation, excuse me, or aliveness in your body after the beautiful energy of your cells in your body has absorbed that beautiful natural environment around you. This is me in my daggy clothes. I have a beautiful little room. It's actually got a cot in it because my granddaughter But I have a little yoga mat room, and every second day I found that's my rhythm. I go in there, do some stretching, the ball, maybe weights. I do it. Then lastly, I sit on a chair and do a little meditation. I find if I move before the meditation, it makes me drop in a bit deeper, be a bit more still and focused. And even though I still get thoughts floating through like clouds, I can just let them flow a bit more. And sometimes if they come in while I'm meditating, my thoughts, and I'm a bit worried about something or I'm unsure, I just allow it, honor it, take note of it, and just say an affirmation or get some clarity in my heart or ask for clarity in the next few days. And I just got a beautiful picture there of the sunset because I love going for walks near my house or mini bike rides. And that's one of the flowers in our garden. I love flowers, so I love picking them and putting vases all through the house. I love the energy they give, the vibrancy. And if you open your third eye now, if you want, you might want to have a look at that pink flower as you look at it, and you might sense the color around it. Yours might be different to mine. Some people see colors or vibrations or auras around things differently, and that's okay. You might ask in your mind telepathically to the flower. You might say to the flower, show me your colors, your aura, your spirit, your energy. You might see insects coming up around it or in your third eye or over the flower. Some people see it up here in a little screen I talk about in the Spiritual Guidebook, little magic screen in your mind, or you might be able to see it in front of the flower itself. You might see the hue of colours floating off the flower. You might get greens or purples or blues or yellows or sparkly whites. And as I said, you might see insects or bees because it might be something linked with the flower and it's sharing that image with you to share a link or something that's going on in its life. So yeah, that's just tuning into things around the world we live in. This is my beautiful, we went to the sunflower farm just outside of Canberra here, and this is part of my naturopathic routine or my routine that helps me have more energy. I'm holding there a beautiful juice I made. Some of my juices very, very, I've improved them over the years, I should say, but sometimes they can be a bit full on. I put way too much in them, but I'm getting better at being creative and putting things in them that taste nice. I'm just showing the platters of food. I used to be a sugar addict and I used to eat a lot of sugar. And it caused a lot of health problems in me. And over time, I found a different way to get sweetness in my life from having sweet activities, sweet relationships, and a lot of sweet food. So I've done as a naturopath a lot of research about what's good for different bodies. And down the bottom, I've got mushrooms and apples and other things and organic carrots. And in the middle there, it's herbs from my garden. Many years ago, I got a little patch of dirt, put some soil in, and started growing some herbs. And some of them worked and some of them didn't, but it was very helpful just for my body to throw them in a juice or have them in a salad because they're high vibration. So the chakras and the third eye and the other chakras will just feed off the natural high vibration of anything growing in the earth because they're so magical. They align with the energy and vibration of the cells of our human body. And so I found I was nowhere near as tired as I used to be. And in my 20s, I was always tired with the amount of sugar and not good food I ate and stress. So as I nearly head to my 60s, it's rare that I wake up tired and I try to have a balance. But if my body does get unwell, I try and sit with that, with Reiki, with healing, with what do I need to know? Where is this block from? How can I befriend it? What can I learn from my body's wisdom? What is it sharing with me? Do I need to have time out more? And that beautiful spiritual link we can have with ourselves. That's another one, the ocean that I love. Don't we all love the beautiful oceans, the mountains, the depth of the beautiful environment? And that's my little granddaughter. She's vibrant and reminds me how pure and natural joy, love, and happiness is. She just goes through the world like lots of kids her age with so much vitality, openness, curiosity, freedom, strength. And she has just such a beautiful laugh and giggle. And it reminds me to lighten up, to just let go a bit more, to plan better, to make sure I sleep deeply and well, and that I celebrate the gift of being a human on this planet, the gift of being on this earth plane, and to enjoy it no matter what happens, to enjoy it as much as I can. Yes, let's go. Oh, here we go. Got some beautiful, some of you might realize that you or have noticed. I know lots of my clients have already been looking at their palms before they come to me and they go, oh, I've got lots of triangles and excuse me. Or they'll go, circles there are very, very rare. But they do mean fame and fortune. Hopefully we'll have that. But they are, I did see one on a client recently. Triangles are stunning, usually get in the middle of the palm. Usually they are. A client the other day had, oh my gosh, it was like looking at sacred geometry. It was this amazing pattern in the palm of these amazing triangles and diamonds and just fitting all in together. And I tried to tune in and read from my intuition and my gut to not only have the knowledge from my books, but to let my body and my guide say, what does this mean for her? Why has she got so many triangles, which I call the portal of energy to the cosmos? And I said, do you get mediumship stuff, channeling? Are you really drawn to oracle cards? And she said, yes, all of that. But she was in a really government job that was very black and white and dry. But she had, when she went home, these amazing spiritual experiences and a very deep wisdom. So that was really interesting. The St. Andrew's cross there, I've had a few of those on people lately. It means that you've saved someone's life or you have helped someone in your lifetime in magical ways that has really assisted someone else on this planet. Islands you might see along your heart line, meaning a time in your life like a circle that you just had to move through karmically, change of house, change of job, career, something that just was part of your destiny. Squares, oh my goodness, squares mean you're a natural teacher, natural leader. All right, and the beautiful timeline. So if you go look at your lifeline, it starts right near your thumb, starts at 0 and goes down, the age goes down there. And the other one's heart line up to 70 and the headline going down there. So it's really good when you get intuition about someone's age. Like I was looking at someone's heart line. I think she had an island on it. I said, oh, and I was just tapping into my guides and I feel like something major happened at age 10 for you. And she was Indian. And she said, yes, my family moved from India to Australia. And she said it was a really hard time for me because the adjustment took her quite a while. It was a bit of a shock. She didn't have much warning or prep before she left India. So it was a bit of a tricky transition for her. The headline, if it curves down a lot like that, means that you're extremely creative. The more curvier it goes down, the more creative you are. Think of graphic designer. The straighter it is, it means more matter of fact you are. The wavier it is, it can mean you're more challenged in some areas and making sure your mental health and practices are in place to keep you aligned and strong within yourself. And go to, the beautiful psychic cross right in the middle of the palm. I love the way that psychic cross touches the top line, the bottom line, and from side to side. It means someone will definitely be psychic, get tune in easily, and people are usually excited when they see that. The medical stigmata right under the little finger, that if you've got 5, 6 lines there, it means you're a natural healer. It can be nurses, Reiki masters, people that just touch animals a lot and they're just channeling healing energy. Animals can be like that to us too. They can channel energy to us as well. And also travel lines at the side, the line of intuition at the other side of the hand, the sympathy line. Some people who are natural healers too people love talking to them. People love opening up and telling them their problems, especially if they have the Seal of Solomon and the compassion line, sympathy line underneath that finger there, the index finger, because yeah, they're great listeners, usually those type of people. And clicking there, we've got, oh, this is fascinating, because when I did the library talk the other day, one of the ladies that came up had a Sydney line. That means her headline cut all the way across her palm. And so she still had the headline above it curved up, but the headline went all the way across. And that usually means they're very determined people. They will, when they set their mind on something, they will do it. Normal palms is palm 1 and 2, where they're just curved like that or joined in the middle. And the simian lines, which is very rare, it means that the head and heart lines are pretty much joined. And that can also mean determination, focus, and getting a lot of things done in this lifetime. And more lines are underneath the Mercury finger, the union lines, children lines, and loyalty line. The family chain at the base of the thumb can sometimes indicate families that have disconnected or repaired again later. Very fascinating. All right. Just check down here. And that's my website, annacomerford.com. And I'll just check down here. Oops, just move that. All right, is there any questions?
Thank you so much. We do have some questions for you that have come
Great.
through. The first question is, how do you run a psychic palm reading appointment?
Yes. When the people come in, I usually have a look at their aura chakras and have a chat, connect with them, and then, yeah, put their palms on a little stool in front of us that's high that they can rest on, so I can have a good look with a torch and a magnifying glass sometimes I might use. And then I will connect with the lines, the energy, and also, I don't know if some of you have heard of scrying, where you can, excuse me, blur your energy, your eyes, and scry and get a feeling or an image. So I might blur my eyes over their palms. I might get an image of cats or of pencils. Excuse me, and that can mean that they might have cats in their home, or pencils can mean they're writers or they love drawing. And so, yeah, the palms can tell us a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, as we're going through, I was looking at my palm and trying to connect the lines and see where some of them kind of matched up to the diagrams that you had. So really, really interesting to look at that and see how it applies to oneself.
Right.
Now, do you have any advice for others wanting to do professional readings?
Yes, I think, keep up the spiritual knowledge, and Make sure, I think, have a ritual and spiritual practices for yourself, so that when you're tuned in and your antenna or psychic tuning into the universe is at an optimal level, so that you can have good quality readings and be really present for your client, because you must be very mindful. And I give tips in my books about the sort of language and the way you say things to not trigger people's fears, or not to trigger, because you don't know sometimes when someone sits in front of you what their headspace is like. Totally, you don't know really what they're going through in their life. Some of them will open up and tell you, some of them will not, and so you need to be very mindful of how you word it. But I find my guides are very gentle, and they will give lovely advice and information that's helps a person leave my office, my clinic, with ideas in their heart. Or I might need to recommend them to psychologist or psychiatrist or further counselling if I feel like their distress is so deep that they might need ongoing help. I was telling people, Tunji, that at my talk that a few years ago I had a man in his 20s from overseas, and he came to me, but he had some dark thoughts, and he hadn't continued his psychiatric treatment in Australia. He just had one overseas. So I said to him, look, it's best to seek professional help. And then he came back, contacted me 2 weeks later and said, thank you, I'm now on the right path. I've got the professional help I need. So I was really pleased about that.
Wonderful. So I love when you refer to families being disconnected. Were you referring to nuclear or extended families?
Oh, sorry, can you say that again?
When you referred to families being disconnected, looking at the lines, the family line on the palm, were you referring to nuclear or extended family?
Oh, that's probably both, yeah. And even ancestral, sometimes it can go back to the guides showing me 4 or 5 beings going backwards, saying that there's a belief pattern or a block in the family history. I think someone came to me the other day, and I saw that I got going back so many lifetimes that certain genders in the family had this block. And the person said, yeah, that makes sense. That's what I'm struggling with in this lifetime. And we tried to do meditation, visualization to release and heal that, and bless the ancestors for all the great work they did in the past. Yeah.
Yeah, that could be very clear.
Yeah.
Question from Cindy. Can you learn palm reading or psychic reading, or is it just something that is innate or a combination of the two?
Yes, good question. Yeah, I think it is a combination. I feel like it is innate. I think we're spiritual beings, and we all have psychic gifts. And so how much you practice it, develop it, aware of it, live a vibration that attunes to that, like I said before, with the chakra energy, that you will tune in and tap into it even more. Yeah, and yeah.
Well, it's like a muscle, right? You have to work a bit and flex it and practice it to get better at it. Even if you have an innate gift, you still need to practice it.
Yeah, that's a good way to say it. Yes, I think it is like a muscle, a Tunji, and you do have to practice it and tune in and take that quiet time. We are in a world, so many people have said to me lately, excuse me, how do I tap into, the world is so busy and I'm on social media too much. And some people have said, I find it hard to switch off. How do I make that space for stillness, or my yoga practice, or my walks, or shopping healthily? So some of my clients are doing little timers. I'm going to be on something for a small amount of time, and then I'm going to shift to reading a spiritual book or something of knowledge. Then I'm going to do 5 or 10 minute stretch, and that balance will make you feel hugely different. And in months to come, you'll be amazing, the difference in your mind, body, soul, and spirit. Yeah.
Question from Gemma Davies. Do you read both palms or just the dominant hand? And do you see different things in each palm? Because I know my two palms are different. I mean, there's some similarities, but there's also some differences.
Mm. Yeah, good questions. Yes, you read both palms, dominant and non-dominant. And like you said, Tunji, most people will have different lines on both palms, and that's a fascinating thing. The hand you don't write with, the non-dominant, is your past, your ancestors, the gifts you came into earth with. And then your dominant writing hand is your present, future, what you learn in this lifetime, how you use what you've got and make it grow, evolve, and develop.
Oh, okay. Okay. So it's almost like the past and the potential.
Yes, exactly. And I love, Tunji, when people's heart line in their past non-dominant hand is a little bit flat or not very curvy, but their future hand shows their heart line with a lot more flow and energy. And it shows that in this lifetime, they might go through some struggles or challenges, but it's just their soul's divinity that's giving them that as a gift, even though it doesn't feel like a gift, does it? Sometimes we go through really tough things and we go, oh my gosh, how am I going to go? I know I've been through stuff and I go, how am I going to get out of this? It's always through spiritual awareness and my knowledge and my spirit team and nature and everything that's got me out of places and helped me bounce back better. But it's amazing when you see the past. And I remember a lady came to me and yeah, she had that. I think I wrote her story in one of my books, and her heart line was like that. And she said, oh yes, I used to be so closed down and shut down, and I've just changed. I've opened my heart and life is flowing for me more now, and it's made me more successful in many areas of my life.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So as a follow-on from that, we talk about dominant and non-dominant hand. What about ambidextrous people? How do they find out
Yes.
what's dominant, what's not dominant?
Yeah, that's really tricky. I had 2 of them the other week at a talk, and I asked them which hand do they write with. Some say both, which makes it even trickier, or which hand did they find was natural as a child. So I usually try and go which one they write with. Otherwise, I'll just clairvoyantly, intuitively try and read their palm and ask them a few questions and see if I can get energy of the flow of it, or are they combined and do they have a different message? Yeah.
But if you look at if one is past and one's potential, as we discussed before, maybe, and this is a question, does it help to see if there's lines are more pronounced or longer, or they seem more developed? Could that be a sign as far as that's the potential, the dominant in that sense? And
Yes. Yeah, that's true. Sometimes the lines are darker and deeper on some hands. Some people naturally have faint lines, or sometimes I might tell them to get a blood test or something if they seem a little bit pale, or just to check go to a doctor and check their levels just to make sure everything's going okay. Sometimes pale lines can mean they're feeling a bit flat about life and the life force energy has not come through totally in this lifetime, but as they go older and tap in and learn and heal and grow, that more vibrancy might come into their palms. And yeah, some people say that they've noticed new lines as they've got older on their palms. Some have faded, some have appeared in weird ways. Sometimes on my palms I've noticed that, oh, I didn't notice that line there before, or that pattern or that shape. So it's interesting what happens.
Yeah. So the lines can grow and change over time. They're not just there, static, same forever. They do change
Exactly.
over time.
Yeah, it's usually minimally, but yes, it can happen.
And we had a question that somebody said that they've always had just lots of lines in the hand. Their hands have looked old beyond their old early. There's just lots of different lines and creases on their hands. Um, how do you read that? What does that
Yeah.
mean?
Yes, I had a client the other day who said that, why have I got so many lines in my hand? Sometimes it can mean nervous energy and they're quite intuitive. They're running on a higher sort of vibrational energy and they're quite tuned in and they might feel quite drained from people around them because they are highly sensitive to energies and vibration. That's why earth food would be really good for them to ground and stillness and centeredness and make sure they have their space away to replenish and recharge their aura and chakras.
Mhm. Um, Now you mentioned earlier that you're also as well as being a psychic and studying palmistry, that you're also a naturopath.
Yes.
And we quite often, anyways, I quite often think that none of these philosophies operate on their own. That they're all slightly different pieces to a much larger puzzle. How has that naturopathy informed the way you do spiritual work?
Yes, I think it has. Yeah, being a naturopath, I think, is linked to spirituality, like you said, because it's everything is your health, isn't it? Like we're physical beings. Their research shows we're becoming unhealthier, unfortunately, as the years go by. Um, and convenience and quick foods are okay, but unfortunately, it really affects our bodies. And every chakra is linked to a hormone in our body, whether it's the pineal gland, the thyroid gland, the thymus, the adrenal glands. So, if for naturopathy and learning about meridians, and I became a massage therapist, I used to do that. And it taught me that, yeah, all these energy systems and vibrational energy runs through our bodies, and everything we feed our mind through our thoughts, through our day-to-day activities, affects every cell in our body. I was reading and listening to a doctor the other day, and he was saying that every thought we think, every of the one of the billions of cells in our body hears that thought and it impacts it. And and so we have to be really careful to not be fake about it and not just try and think positive thoughts, because sometimes the best thing is to have a negative thought, but to know how to deal with that negative thought. And some people will suppress that thought through, alcohol, drugs, gambling, shopping, computer stuff. And we all have, addictions that we might need to curb or moderate a bit better. But sometimes it's better just to feel those feelings, feel those beautiful messages from our negative or side that says, wow, that's not working for me anymore. I might need a new path, a new tact. I might need to be brave and go out of my comfort zone and have that conversation with someone that I really don't want to have. But then when you have it, you feel lighter and freer and go, wow, it was actually more win-win than I thought. I thought it would be a confrontational talk, or even if it was a confrontational talk and it didn't work, maybe I need something else, or my communication style hasn't worked, and maybe I need to learn about that. So yeah, it is, you're right. It is, yeah, all so interrelated.
Yeah, absolutely. And with knowing that as you said, the energy flow moves through different, not just chakra centers, but also glands, there can be different foods or things that you can ingest that would then help those glands and possibly help that energy flow move better as well.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, our gut's very powerful. And
Yeah.
yeah, and I have,
It's referred to as our second or third brain. We have the brain up here, and then we have a heart brain, and then we have a gut brain. And
that.
that's, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, heart brain, gut brain. Yeah. And there is a nerve, vagus nerve, that links up from the gut around there up to the brain that science is now realizing that's very powerful. And you've probably heard about, serotonin receptors and things like that. And if we're filling our gut with packet foods that doesn't have much life force in it, it's very dead food, and it might, unfortunately, they usually taste good until you wean yourself off them and you realize good food tastes better and it's more vibrancy. When the beautiful gut and that beautiful center of our body, where our intuition lies in the gut, the head, the brain, it's all related, like you said, that when we put good fluids and herbal teas in there and fill it up with amazing vibration, it just flows up to the brain. We think better, we make better choices, we speak better to the people around us, we don't lose it as much, and we're more contained. So that's really important. Yeah.
Wow. Well, thank you so much, Dime. Is there anything you'd like to share with us before we sign off?
Yes. Are you happy for me to end off with a meditation?
Oh, please do. Yes.
Okay, I'd love to I'm just going to tap into my guides now to ask them what else I'd like. They're showing me the most beautiful. It's funny that I showed everyone that flower before. This time it's a beautiful flower they're showing me that's a bit richer in color. It's a bit of pinky crimsony. And they're just saying, follow the light. We are always with you. We love you so much. You are so dear to us. We are so proud of the steps you take every day. Be gentle with yourself and take it easy. And they're showing me this beautiful image of a waterfall is flowing down. And I'm asking them, why are they showing me that waterfall? And I'm seeing a rainbow, and I'm seeing birds, and I'm seeing a music symbol and sounds. And if people would like to, I invite you to close your eyes or look down or keep them open, whatever you'd like. They're also showing me the word Reiki, if you'd like to put your hand on your body or tummy, or just imagine, or just open your crown chakra gently if you feel comfortable, to allowing any cosmic rays of healing energy to come down through your crown in safe, harmonious, and healing ways. We ask you to breathe deeply. We thank you for your presence today, your gift, your contribution, your love, your heart. And I'm seeing an image of sitting beside that beautiful waterfall, breathing in the magic of the tranquil energy, the serenity of the waterfall, the sparkles that float off the water as it cascades down. And as you breathe in and out, relaxing more and more and more, absorbing all the rays of the rainbow. And I'm seeing an image where the rainbow is moving towards you, matching the colors of your chakras. And as the rainbow energy merges with your chakra energy, and as you breathe it in and out, good, breathing it in and out, breathing it in and out. And as you may see some rainbow colored energy in your aura, energy field, as the colors align, replenish, heal, and bring you joy and peace. And as you relax, going deeper and deeper, I'm seeing in the beautiful pond at the base of the waterfall. My feet are in the pond. You might want to sit at the side if you choose to. If not, that's okay. Sitting at the side along the bank of the waterfall, maybe the coolness of the water as your feet is in it. And I see some beautiful fish swimming in that beautiful area. And fish are a symbol of abundance, creativity, joy, and harmony. And lastly, as we finish off, beautiful. Just feel that healing energy going through our bodies. Lastly, you might like to visualize or imagine what you wanted your life, and maybe sense it or feel it or see it in your mind or your heart. Send a wish now while you're in this deep, relaxed state, so that it goes out into the universe in magical and stronger ways. Thank you for being here today. Much love, everyone. Take care. Thank you, everybody. And thank you, especially Rockpool Publishing.
Thank you so much, Anna. It was a pleasure to hear you talk and hear about palmistry and your spiritual practice and you work with spirit. So thank you so much for being on with us today.
Thank you so much. Bye.